All right, before we get this going, we have Dan Goddard on the right, brown belt, trains in the Baltimore area out of Gamma, Team Balance Baltimore. Let's see what we got. I trained with Dan a good bit. We're about to get our black belts together in about a week.
Initiate, Rob. Initiate. There you go.
Both guys established grips.
It's beautiful.
It's a master's match of some sort.
On your side.
His opponent
On your side.
pulls guard, starts establishing choking grips. Oh, that was a beautiful pass there from Dan. Very fast, deliberate movement from Dan Goddard. Right to knee on belly. He gets his points. Knee on belly, by the way. 2 points. It's worth as much as a takedown, but nobody goes for it. Especially in the gi, it makes so much sense. Dan is spinning around this guy very, very well. I've trained with his opponent a couple times, I think. Dan's movement is just, man, that was beautiful. His opponent is going for the ankle lock attack here when you cross the legs. Dan's ankles aren't completely crossed. He's doing a good job of controlling his opponent with the gi there. It makes sense. I guess I've never been taught that exact defense. Oh my gosh, it's just one thing after another. It looks like he has a bow and arrow set up. It's a bow and arrow choke, and that's the choke. Let's just start this from the top. So Dan gets the win. We're going to watch this a couple times. Okay. Off the bat, not a lot to see here, but I want to pay attention, as in the beginning. I want to pay attention to Dan's transitions and how he funnels everything into the next position well. So let's see. Let's look for Dan to get his right leg out. The way he just steps over like that. That was beautiful. Again. A little bit of clearance. He's going to clear the leg and then boom, step right over. Boom, knee to hip. Pass. While the other guy's still playing with his the gi choke grips. Dan's getting his head in a better position. He creates space and boom, knee on belly. Points for knee on belly. That almost a must for people who compete to be aware of this. We've talked about this in class lately. And then Dan just spins around. Look at the spinning here. When his opponent turns up and in, Dan's going to go towards his head and then all the way to the other side. So he's on knee on belly. Watch what happens. Rob turns up towards him and immediately Dan just shifts to the backside and spins around him. He starts playing with his collar. All over grips and control. Pulls some slack out. Yeah, he keeps that wrist grip. Yeah, it's just, he's all over the lapels, what it is. Let's watch that again. He's gripping up. The way he stepped forward in front of him to get him to shift his weight forward to make getting the back hooks in even easier. He pumps forward. That was great. I'm not good at that. That was good. But possible issue here. Possible attack, but Dan's comfortable. It's he's basically ready. He's almost, he uses the grips he has here. I think the grip he has is going to be the choking grip. And that same with that pant grip. Watch that. The guy is messing for the ankle lock while Dan is going for the bow and arrow. Okay. And then, wow. And there it is. We're going to watch his transition again. So while Dan is establishing, let's see what happens here. He has the bow and arrow choking grip already when he enters the back. He keeps that grip. He gets control of the knee. with a normal back control.
Keep going.
And I guess his opponent, more than just trying to ankle lock him, is just doing his best to not give up the choke. He has to be able to feel the choke here.
The feet turn towards him. Split and turn.
He establishes the grips, and he builds around it. That's what we're going to watch this match one more time. Dan does such a good job of chaining his attacks and being very, very deliberate in his movements. I'm not just saying this because he's a training partner of mine,
Grip fight. Initiate, Rob. Initiate.
but it is pretty impressive.
Inside.
It's hard to compete against a guy like that, especially if you can't drag him into deep waters.
On your side.
Immediately starts to establish grips. That's it too. That was I missed that before.
On your side.
That lapel grip keeps Rob from re-guarding here. You see this? He comes, he grabs the lapel. It keeps Rob flat on his back. It keeps Rob turned away. That grip turns Rob to his left while Dan passes to Rob's right. That is a great strategy, and that probably helped free up the leg. Keeps the angle. That was beautiful.
You're doing beautifully. Keep setting
Let's
it up.
see this. He still has that lapel grip. You see, guys, he still has this lapel grip. He's still using the initial grip he used to pass.
You're fine. You're doing beautifully.
This is what I mean about chaining controls and keeping your controls from one position to the next. He still has that lapel grip. When does he let go of his left hand? I think he's let go now. Maybe of that lapel grip. Yep, there he goes. He let go to immediately bring it to the head, bring it to the hip.
That's fine. We're no stranger to turtle.
He's establishing these strong grips. They're not meaningless grips. Every grip is with purpose.
Turn towards him
That
right now.
lapel keeps him from spinning.
He's
That
throwing
step
legs up.
forward
Guard.
back
Fight
take
the grip. Three
cannot be
guard.
understated too.
Turn towards him right now.
While yes, because Rob puts his posture back to try to not give the space, but when Dan steps up, it brings Rob forward enough.
Shift. Turn towards the sky with those hips.
I guess he might have even lifted him up. Does he use a lapel grip? That's it. The reason Rob can't keep in turtle is Dan's left hand on the lapel lifts Rob up as he steps forward to shift Rob forward and up, and then that's when he sneaks into the back.
Shift. Turn
That's almost
towards
like a
the sky
foreign
with those
language
hips.
to me. I wish I had those grappling chops.
Keep going.
The back taking stuff,
Going.
that's somebody who's drilled that sort of thing over, and I think that's something that Dan has probably drilled. Already has the grips though. Already, again with the bow and arrow grips. It's the last time we'll watch it. He has that lapel grip. It's the lapel grip he uses to get the back take is eventually the grip he's going to choke him with. He builds off of the grip that he has. He builds a back take so he gets back points. He builds a submission off of it. He uses it to take the back. So he has a game that's built around the grip that he has.
Split the legs and turn towards him.
Let's see here.
Split the feet. Turn towards him. Split and turn.
Ugh.
Get your
It's hard to
shoulders
turn
over the
towards him
legs.
with that choking
Over the
grip.
legs.
But
Shoulders over the legs.
yeah.
Turn your hips.
Great job. Great match. Dan's hard to beat. As far as takeaways there, I've already said them. You know, Dan's a tough guy to go against. Powerful, explosive, controlling, deliberate, forceful. And if you can embody those sorts of things, again, it's like the techniques matter. And he did do very specific things that you could emulate. But I think it's good to know like the type of tone that Dan sets that makes him successful. He could apply to other techniques, or you could try to do the techniques Dan does unsuccessfully without using the tone that Dan sets. And that's important. It's tunneling in, it's chaining controls, it's pulling out the slack, it's controlling the angle and doing it with force, with deliberate grips, with strong hands. It's dominant, it's alpha, it's ferocious, and I've been at the receiving end of it before. I have nothing bad to say about how can you critique that? I don't even know. Even like the little ankle lock attempt thing at the end, the choking grips in the beginning, he uses everything his opponent establishes against his opponent. He's very aware of the current connections, and he's very competitive in the given moment to win everything that is currently going on. Great match. Check out bjjshortcuts.com. There will be more information on that soon, but if you're interested, put in your email. I'm starting a little project there, so if you want to be in the know, give it a look. Thanks for the submission.